Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney, and our top story this afternoon is the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to side with Grants Pass, ruling that cities can in fact enforce bans on homeless people sleeping outside. It wound up being a 6-3 decision by the justices, with the outcome split down ideological lines. The majority said that laws regulating camping on public property do not violate the U.S. Constitution's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. It's a ruling that's expected to impact cities all across the U.S., including Portland. Reaction is coming in this afternoon from all sides. The city of Grants Pass says it's, quote, grateful to know the High Court's opinion on this. In Multnomah County, Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson says the ruling doesn't change the immediate reality on Portland streets, adding that more needs to be done to get people into shelter and into permanent housing. KGW's Kyle Aboshi and Blair Best are both covering this story for us this afternoon. We're going to have their reports coming up here on KGW News at 4, 5, and 6. You can also watch our continuing coverage on KGW.com, KGW Plus, and the KGW YouTube channel. Out in the gorge this afternoon, the Hood River Bridge remains closed to drivers after a semi-truck crashed into it. You can actually see from this video we're going to show you here some of the damage to the bridge. The Port of Hood River says a cruise ship was able to safely pass under the bridge this morning. Coming up next hour, port officials are expected to discuss what's next for the Hood River Bridge.
We're looking at a whole number of things, wind shear, time. There's just a lot of elements that the engineers need to do calculations on before we feel comfortable opening the bridge again.
At this point, drivers on the Oregon side have to go to either Cascade Locks or the Dalles to cross the Columbia into Washington. An even bigger traffic story is brewing here in Portland as a 4-mile stretch of I-5 shuts down for the weekend, starting at 9 o'clock tonight for an ODOT construction project. All southbound lanes will close between Terwilliger Boulevard and Capitol Highway. All northbound lanes are going to close between Barber Boulevard and Terwilliger. Crews are working to make improvements to the I-5 bridge that crosses over Southwest 26th Avenue. The current bridge there is more than 60 years old. Again, this closure starts at 9 o'clock tonight and is scheduled to open no later than 5 o'clock Monday morning. Detours this weekend include Highway 99, Highway 217, Highway 26, and I-205. All right, having covered all that, we are going to take a quick break from the news headlines for a beautiful look outside on this Friday afternoon. We are looking at Lincoln City there on the Oregon coast. Were you coughing or laughing there in the background, Rod?
I was a little cough. My apologies, sir.
No, I was wondering, did I get the right coastal town correct?
You did, yes,
right,
sir.
Thank you.
Our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera there was cloudy up and down much of the coast earlier this morning, but as Drew just showed you, beautiful sunshine. And the satellite picture also shows the same thing. We basically have sun at the coast. It is a day with a 0% chance of rain across all of Oregon and all of Washington, and for the most part, it is a mostly sunny forecast for the remainder of your afternoon into your evening, no matter where you are watching us from. Here's Cannon Beach. You can tell a little bit of it's come some higher thin clouds. Look at all the people on the beach. Good grief. Lots of people out there. Looks like the tide is out as you walk up to Haystack. 66 is the temperature. There's downtown Portland. We got one boat on the Willamette waters there, 69. I projected 68 at noon, so we're on track to hit my forecast high of 81. And, you know, with sunshine, 80, 81, pretty much exactly normal for this time of the year. It will be a lovely Friday evening for you. The Timbers have a match tonight, 75 degrees at 8 p.m. I am tracking something that could happen next week. And of course, next week is July 4th. So stick around for that headline in my 7-day forecast.
All right, more from Rod here in about 10 minutes. Right now, though, we want to get back to some of our local news headlines this afternoon. Police say one man died after a shooting in southeast Portland. They responded to shots fired just before midnight last night at Southeast 82nd and Knight Street. When police arrived, they say that's when they found the man already dead. So far, they haven't made any arrests. Police are also investigating a second deadly shooting. This one happened last night in North Portland at a TriMet Max platform at North Interstate and Prescott Street. This happened around 8:30 last night. Officers say they found one man dead at that platform, but so far haven't made any arrests in this case either. An 18-year-old faces several charges, including attempted murder, after a shooting at an apartment complex in Gresham left one person hurt and several apartments hit by bullets. This happened back in late April at Rockwood Village, But Gresham police are continuing to investigate this. So far, they are looking for more details. But again, the big story here is that an 18-year-old has been charged with attempted murder. And that's a look at.
I don't think life is long enough. He took my son away from me.
A Clark County judge sentenced the man found guilty of murdering a Vancouver police officer 2 years ago to 29 years in prison yesterday. It was back in January of 2022 when Julio Segura robbed a Vancouver convenience store, then led police on a chase that ended in front of off-duty police officer Donald Cejoda's home in Battleground. Cejoda tried to arrest Segura that night, but Segura stabbed him and ran into his house. A responding sheriff's deputy saw Officer Cejoda on the ground when he arrived and shot him, thinking he was Segura. Yesterday at his sentencing, Segura brought a prepared statement to the courtroom but decided not to deliver it after hearing Officer Cejoda's friends and family speak.
And there's nothing I can say that I can take away all that pain. I can't reverse time. I can't undo things that have been done. And I would just like to say that from the bottom of my heart, I give the Cejoda family my deepest condolences for the loss of their loved one.
Segura is not eligible for parole, but he can get up to 10% of his sentence reduced for good behavior. We're also hearing this afternoon from a Westview High School student who says his head football coach slapped and shook him and several of his teammates awake at a training camp. Football families met to talk about the incident last night, one day after that head coach stepped down. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with the details.
It's kind of just been a whole roller coaster.
Just days after an off-campus incident at an overnight football camp, Westview families are still coming to terms with what happened.
It was Tuesday morning, like at 1 in the morning.
Seikoa Kurkowski-Afoa, a rising senior, was there at Linfield University in McMinnville.
I had just I had barely been asleep for almost an hour, and I wake up to just a palm to my face. And for me, I was just it woke me up instantly.
Players say they were slapped or shaken awake by then head coach Jamal Jones, who was also a Hillsborough police officer.
He was putting his hands on people, yes. He opened palms, slapped people.
McMinnville police responded around 4:30 Tuesday morning, doing a welfare check after reports of this behavior that cut the training short.
It was supposed to run for a maximum of 4 days. We were supposed to leave that afternoon, but we all left at 5 in the morning instead.
Jones resigned Wednesday, one day after the Beaverton School District placed him on administrative leave, pending an investigation. Seikoa says in the meantime, other coaches have stepped up.
And they do want what's best for us.
Thursday night, the team talked about what's next for the Wildcats.
It was just to clear things up. It was just to let people know what is the next steps. And right now we may not know what they are, but I do hope that good things come out of all this terrible stuff.
And that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this afternoon. At this time, McMinnville police have not charged Jones, but they say they're actively investigating this case still. As for the Hillsborough Police Department, they placed Jones on leave pending further investigation.